Hey everybody, Bones here, Bones Garage, just bringing you the update what's going on at the garage. So, 1968 Cadillac Coupe DeVille ragtop. We now have, there's our frame right there. We have it sitting on its side, just makes it a lot easier to work on. So we turn it sideways like that. And we now have the airbag in. There's the airbag. This is your airbag right here. This is your lower control arm. That's your front strut bar mount, where the strut bar would have been at one time. It would have mounted right into here and came across and attached to the lower control arm. And here you can see it. There's your strut bar. There's the lower control arm. And you see how much different this setup is than this setup is. If we are looking at it this way, like I'm looking at it at the underneath the car, you'll see. That's where the end of the strut bar went, and there was the rubber bushings there, which we've gotten rid of. We now have a nice heim joint, which keeps this bar from wanting to move back and forth. And really nice setup. But you could see how nice now this airbag fits in there. Look at that. We cut this whole section out, and if you look down here, you can see this is the other side, what we cut out. Like, I'll just grab the airbag for this side. This is the airbag for this side, and if we stick it in here, you'll see it just does not fit. See how it hits all over here, hits down over here right there, and it hits up in here. And we cut it all out, and look at how nice that looks. Look at that beautiful cut that goes all the way around and gives this airbag plenty of room to let it go up and down. Now, we'll come back here and let's look at the way they cut it out. There's the way that they cut that airbag hole out. Look at that horrible cut that they made. Square points. It's just absolutely terrible. And it's the same thing on this side of the car. If you look hard, you can see how bad those cuts are. They're just terrible. Look at that. Look at how bad this is. And then they didn't go ahead and reinforce all this. They cut way too much out over here and didn't reinforce it. And then when you get to the front side, the same thing. Look at how bad these cuts are. These are terrible. I would never let a car go like this. No way. Never, ever would I let a car go like this. And you can look, if you look way back over here, you can see where they separated everything. These two pieces of metal should be welded together. This is part of the support for the front of the car. So this is not, not good at all. Nothing about it is good. Nope. So you can see how nice we've cut that out. Look at how nice that is. It almost looks factory. And then what we'll do is we'll come in, we'll clean the rest of this up, make it look really good, and then put it together. And again, I showed you down there how nice that fits, how that looks, and how tight this airbag is. It's stuck. So we went ahead and just cut all this out and made it really nice. See? There it is. That's all you have to do. Take a little bit of time and do it right. And then I'll show you on the rear differential. We pulled the rear differential out. It just makes it, that's where the differential went. Those are the spring pockets right there. Normally the frame would come down and be sitting like this. And you can see we boxed the upper and lower control arms in. And you see how nice that looks. Nice, steady, heavy piece of steel there. Holds everything together. Makes these really nice and stiff. So that will help this car a lot. So there you go, guys. There's what's going on with the 68. It's coming out really well. Oh, another thing we're doing is we're definitely going to be using this disc brake setup. Now, the problem we're having is nobody makes a disc brake for a 68. So they do make them for 73. So right now we're working on seeing what it's going to take to make a 1973 Cadillac disc fit onto a 1968 car. Because again, they do not make 68, 69, 70, 71, 72. Nobody has a disc brake for them. They have drums, but they don't have discs. So we're going to see if we can get a 73 disc to fit on a 68 car. And we'll make all the proper adjustments. We have no choice but to make that fit. Might need to use a 1/8 inch spacer over here. Might need to do some work on the back of the spindle right there, the center of the hub right there, to narrow this down a little bit. Because if you look, you'll see how narrow from here to here is, and how much wider from here to here is. So you can see that standing there. And it's a little bit of a difference between here to here and here to here. So we have a few things we have to look at, but these discs, this is another 68 disc. You can see how thin that metal is and how much of rust has been just eaten away at this disc. So this one's no good. This is what they should look like. See how much thicker that is there? See how thick that is right there? That's what this should look like. Same thing with this one. It has the exact same problem. The rust has been eating away at it for so long that the fins here are really, really thin. It's not at all good. So that's some of the complications you run into when you do these cars. We can't use the old discs. We have to use a different disc. This came off of one of my cars, and this is why I hang on to old garbage. This is actually garbage. This is really no good. But I knew that someday I was going to need one of these, and it turned out we needed it. There's the spindle for the 68. We'd have to measure here to make sure the bearings are going to fit. We have to measure here to make sure the outer bearing will fit. We have to measure here to make sure the seal will ride up on this nicely. We also have to measure the height of the spindle right here, from here to here. Make sure that they are the same, and from here to here, as in other cars. So we have a lot of work to do. This is the one that came off of the drum. It's different a little bit, I believe, than the spindle that's on for the disc brake. So we have some measurements we have to take. We have a little bit of work we have to do with that, but we'll get it all done and we'll make it all work. Alrighty guys, have fun. I'll talk to you real soon. 1968 Caddy. Coming out great. Okay, bye.